Team PKR pro Vladimir Geshkenbein has amassed more than $2 million in his illustrious career, so you might imagine another $3.5 grand shouldn't make much difference. But the mad Russian battles for every pot like it's his last, as his 5 Sunday Grand Prix final table opponents are about to find out. Joining me to watch the legend in action is fellow Team Pro Scott Shelley. Let the fireworks begin.
What a pleasure, a rare treat. We get to see Bane in action.
He actually made a final table?
Yeah, and he actually played the Sunday Grand Prix.
Wow.
Yeah. He actually plays online poker, none less. Taking a little time out from his exams at university. And here we go. D-Stacker, obviously a member of the Hall of Fame too. Gets out of the way. And Brit Goof, 118, opens.
Fold.
Bit of a tight fold there.
Well, it's very early on at this final table. 3.5K to the winner. Just 511 for next out. And Bane, obviously, 3 bets. And quite big as well. Picks up a caller.
Okay, here's the flop.
No doubt due to his reputation.
Yeah, in Bane's book, the 3 bet's always the first option.
Yeah, but the problem with calling, as we're seeing, is unless you're playing super advanced poker. Wow!
Fold.
That's a pretty sick shove.
Absolutely, and
No equity.
max value, I suppose, but highest risk proposition.
Yeah, it's probably the highest variance line to take. I mean...
But there we go. That was the chip leader, or actually he was in second place to begin with.
Effective chip leader.
Yeah.
It might as well have been.
Wow. And Bane tries something, and it costs him
Okay, here we are.
best
New
part of a
hand.
quarter of his stack.
Yeah. I'm surprised they actually chose Bane to run that move against, just because even though there's a couple of 10 big blind stacks, Bane's not sort of the person that's going to be worried about laddering,
Right.
or looking for better spots.
So he's really got to have he's got to
Yeah.
he's got to have nothing after the flop at all to be getting away, which is just precisely what happened. But there we go, something to watch. Goof straight out of the blocks with some brave play. Won this Grand Prix back in 2010 and 2008.
All in.
Going for the 3-timer. D-Stacker, fairly short stack.
I fold.
Yeah, pretty standard shove there. 22 bigs from the small blind, I think it was.
Well, D-Stacker, the one with the most impressive results here. Second in the Masters, his finest in 2009, 15 grand and change. Main event victory last December for 5.5K. And, well, Rianic's also another one with a little bit of Sunday Grand Prix form. December, second place, looking to one better at this time. Talking of which, here comes the German. Gets out of the way with a very short stack, 32K.
Wouldn't have minded a shove there.
I fold.
Fold.
Just because if you get called, you've got a hand that not only can flop quite well, it's going to be live most of the time.
All in.
Well, another short stack gets it in. 100% of the time, you're going to be getting it in with an ace there.
Mm-hmm.
And some very big stacks. I mean, these two guys with $500,000 each are in prime position. At the moment, you're going to find it hard to see how it's not going to be these two heads up.
Yeah, they've got like 40% of the chips each.
And Bane, well, it'd be interesting to see how he approaches this 100K stack. But you'd imagine it's going to be any opportunity it folds round to him in the kind of 3 or 4 seat, we're going to be seeing him open.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the 2 dominant forces, Astro Girl from
Right.
I fold.
Fold.
Australia. Opens to 3x.
Fold.
Nothing from the short stack. Nothing from Bain.
Oh,
Yeah, and the very short stack.
yeah, he's got to go with it here, really. It's unfortunate for him. He's got one over, though.
Call.
Go.
Yeah, 5 chances at the ace, and there is one.
Barring a king, they get the double up.
And here's the river.
Yeah, no disaster for Astro Girl. Still right up there. But some sort of hope for Rianic. But what's that? Less than 20 bigs. And still, you got to be looking at an opportunity.
Mm.
Right then.
A lot more healthy than they were, but definitely looking to get it in again.
Yeah, as I said, 511 for 6th place, 700 for 5th. So no great opportunity to ladder it up.
Fold. Raise.
Here we go.
Wow. Well, you can see Rianic down to 56 from the 70 just a moment ago. Takes the opportunity. It's not a bad one. I mean, it's just the right spot, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's got 11 big blinds in a pair. It's not really much he can do but get it in, really.
And Bain doesn't have to have it there. Certainly doesn't have to have 2 overs or a bigger pair.
Nah, for sure. Bain's opening quite wide there with that stack.
Well,
And here's the
he
river.
has turned the nuts. And that is Bain's first victim, well, at this final table anyway. Rianic out in 6, 511.
Two hands.
Closing the gap on the top 2 a little bit.
Yeah, they'll certainly be wary of the EPT champ.
Thought you were going to call him the EPT chump.
No, well, he's a chump in some aspects of life and a champ in others, which I suppose is the same with all of us. But Bain, perhaps, to the extremes.
Oh, fold.
Cool.
He snaps D-stacker.
Here's the
He's ahead, but now it's a coin flip. Or it
And
still
here
was a
comes the
coin
river.
flip.
Bricks the world.
Yeah, there we go. We lose one Hall of Famer, busted by another. D-stacker out in 5th for 700 bucks. Well, that leaves 4, and Cruella, not done an awful lot, but now guaranteed 20 bucks shy of $1,000.
Rise.
Which is not quite the best result.
Got to imagine they're going to gamble here.
I'm on.
Yeah, 10 big blinds. Easily the shortest stack.
Call.
Read 'em and weep. Okay, here comes the flop.
Need to find some paint.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's
here.
not it. And the Canadian out in 4th for $980. Doesn't quite improve on the personal best, which is a Canadian Sunday win for $1,065. But did exactly what he was supposed to do. 3 left, Bain the shorty. Goof with an absolute monster stack. Puts the pressure on Bain. Tricky size stack here. Is this...
Okay, I'm
well,
cool.
he peels one off. Is that something you would have done?
Here comes
Yeah, I don't mind peeling off there. I mean, he's deep enough to play a pot in position there, and his hand flops extremely well.
Yeah, except it has not done, and it has for Goof.
Okay, here's the
Okay,
Oh,
hand.
Bain snap floats, looking for a club or a 10 or a queen or a jack, and there is a jack.
I think he's also comfortable playing post flop against pretty much anyone, so
Okay.
he's happy to go through the streets.
Well, now lies the problem. Goof's put another 46 out, gets
Let's see
called.
the river.
Well,
Wow.
yeah, he's got there, and how much can he extract from Bain's stack? Everything? 184 in there. Bain must only have about a pot size left.
I'm all in.
Boom, he moves in. Bain's got 131k and a very tough decision.
I think he can get away from this. I mean, I don't think Goof's betting a 9 for value, or a jack really that often. I mean, he's check calling a lot of the time with their marginal hands. It's sort of like,
Is there also something to be said for people going after a team pro there? Can you kind of add that in, or do you think that it's the reverse, that people are less likely to do this?
I
with their-
mean, they might be more likely to, especially if there's like a bounty of some sort or stuff like that, but
not here.
not here. So I wouldn't imagine they're going to be doing anything that ridiculous at this stage.
I think it'd be a nice fold. I think maybe he
Yeah, I
wondered.
mean, it's not-
Do you think he wonders whether he should have got it in on the turn, or do you think you should?
No, I think calling the turn's fine. I like the way he played it,
Wow.
and he's made the fold.
He has made the fold after putting half his stack in the middle. He gets away and plays it. I guess some might say played that hand perfectly. Put
I
the
like
money
the way he
in.
played it.
Okay, here we are.
I mean, you don't
New
have to
hands.
peel the flop and then take one off, but once he does, I think he played itself really.
Right.
I don't think he could have played it better once he peels the flop.
Okay, I raise.
Good timing here for him.
Well, he's still got 100k behind, which if he can get away from that pot and leave himself 130,
Yeah, I
he can
don't-
get away here.
I call.
Oh wow,
Oh, that is very sneaky indeed. Great play from Astro Girl, is it?
wow.
Fold.
Wow, this is an absolute monster. The two, and Bain might well find
Bane's
himself.
shouting for an 8.
This is the river.
Well, that is a very sneaky trap
Hmm.
indeed.
They swapped stacks, I believe, or a bit more.
Yeah, that was a big pot and a big moment. And, well, Bain started it off. I guess, if Bain mucks the button,
Okay, new hand.
then they're both getting it in, although they've got fairly big stacks.
I don't think it depends how the 8s play it really.
Right,
Obviously, the aces are prepared to stack off.
yeah.
Raise.
You think?
Usually, they do pre-flop.
Right, okay.
It's hard to get someone to
Yeah,
fold aces pre.
That's right.
I call.
Bain opens 10-8. Goof flats with the Shelley.
Check.
Homage to the man.
And
Okay,
here's
let's
the
And
turn
doesn't
card.
flop much, but turns a little something. But unfortunately, it's everything for Bain, who turns the stone cold nuts.
How do they open off 10 bigs and then just turn the nuts
Let's see the river.
and just improve to a jack high straight?
Yeah, now I suppose he could. Well, yeah, he gives up, and Bain's not going to get any more.
Call.
Oh well, my bad. He does get
He
some
gets the
more.
call.
Well, he's back. That fold, leaving himself with 130k, inspired, and well, he has a real chance here against the man from London in Goof, and the Australian who's been right up there the whole way and played nicely enough. We expect a standard open here with the Queen Jack.
Raise.
Yeah, a little big for my liking, but definitely an open.
Considering Bain's the kind of player who will 3-bet
Yeah.
you a lot.
Not even just free bet you, he'll peel a lot, so you might as well just risk losing a bit less.
Okay.
Just keep the pot smaller. There's no need to make it 24. You don't have to.
Yeah, and a big raise here, and with good reason. He doesn't particularly want any action.
No, his hand's likely to be the best hand. He's hoping to just pick up the pot now, chip up a little bit more, which he has.
Yeah, 3-way, and I tell you what, Bain could be doing this an awful lot. You'd expect, despite his short stack, to have the highest raise frequency. And unless-
Yeah, I mean he's playing more than 20 big, so it allows him to open and unfold.
as well as shoving over the top of
Yeah,
open raises and 3-bets. Here he goes up to 300k now. Of course, we're only
High
seeing
raise.
key pots from this final table.
that extra 2 chips
The
is
little two.
crucial.
Yeah,
The viewers out there, it's crucial.
he gets a small blind defense from the chip leader, who is gunning for him, no less, and he goes 3-way.
Wow, they flopped Jen.
Yeah, except no one else has anything.
Check.
Bain's got a gut shot, but may not want to continue here.
I check.
Let's have the
He
Yeah.
takes the free.
Yeah, I'd imagine he was going to do that, but now Astro's got them both drawing dead.
Yeah, that's right. And top pair for Goof.
Speculative call with the Queen 6.
And a flush draw and a gut shot now for
Bet.
Bain. But it's a big bet. It was almost pot-sized bet, which is kind of a deceptive in a way.
They're going to get more value now, I think. I mean, if the king's calling the turn,
Yeah, well,
it's like the most brickish of bricks.
do you try and make it look like
check.
a miss?
Wow.
Wow, that's unusual.
Check.
Oh, good
There you
check
go.
back by Goof.
Yeah, some seriously missed value there. I would have thought, having bet the turn, you could bet big on
Yeah.
the river to try and represent a missed flush draw or something like that. There we go. That's
So it's a great card to bet as well. Just because if your opponent's calling the turn, there's not many hands apart from like the ace of clubs, which they don't call the river with.
Okay, new hand.
Bain looks on with interest. He picks up an ace. Wow, look, his stack has gone from
Yeah.
222 to 468
Okay,
without
Irene.
us seeing a showdown hand. That's pretty
Call.
standard, I would expect, if you look at his stats. And Astro Girl, again, not willing to 3-bet him with
Here's
these
the
kind of
flop.
queen-high hands.
Yeah,
Wow.
they seem happy to play flops out of position, which I wouldn't advise is the best way to go.
Well, when you're flopping top pair with a flush draw and then hitting the turn, or in this case,
Gut shot straight flush is
yeah.
just like, it's pretty good.
Well, no action on
Yeah.
the flop, which will be a shame. Astro Girl will have wanted to kind of check raise there. Leads out in the hope of setting the right price
Okay, this is the
to
river.
hit the turn. Does so.
They're going to check the effective nuts again. Although in this case it is the stone nuts.
Yeah.
They've gone for full pot.
And another tricky spot for Bain, where he's been well, he's found the answer once, but this time it's a smaller percentage of his stack.
There you go.
He's made the call.
Yeah, he makes the call. I think perhaps because
I think he was a bit shorter. He might have had a bit of a longer thought, but I just...
yeah, that's right. Well, I think he knows if he makes that call and he's wrong, 335k, as has already been shown, is plenty of ammo
Oh yeah,
to come
more,
and win
more
this.
than enough.
So does that? I mean, it may not have entered his calculations there, but does that play on your mind that if it's a real coin flip as to whether you're going to call or not, you can say, well, I can afford it.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously it helps your decision a great deal if you can afford to make the call. Or be a bit...
And the chippy, couple of hands played out of position against the champ, and
There it is.
well, ends up with a made hand, and life is a little easier.
Bain not messing around.
Yeah, Bain puts the pressure and effectively commits. And the mark of a good tournament player, I guess, is that you're always looking for opportunities to chip up.
Mm-hmm.
Sniffing out weakness is the old phrase, but it's difficult to do. What's the key to sniffing out weakness? Understanding the differences in your opponent's play,
Yeah, I mean,
New
it's just...
hand.
or is it just
it's a lot
continual
harder.
pressure?
Online it's a lot harder, but it's easier to apply pressure, I feel, online. And it's also... I mean, when you're playing live, you can obviously get a bit of a live read of
Okay,
someone.
raise.
Timing tells help, stuff like that. But online is a lot of the same. I mean, players will
Fold.
bet quicker in certain spots and take longer in certain spots, and they don't know they're doing it.
Right.
Fold. Woohoo! Yeah.
Goof picks up a hand. Bain happy to open a lot of pots and get away when people are jamming on him. But he's now in second place, and you'd have to... I mean, at what point do you make Bain a favourite to win? At what point what does his stack have to be at? Surely
$500,000.
Surely he can't be a favourite now.
Nah, $500,000. There's what?
Okay.
There's 1.3, 1.4 in play. Yeah,
Right.
at $500,000. when he's average for three-handed,
Right.
I feel that he's...
I mean, there's still a fair bit of play here. I'd expect if you asked the Mad Russian himself, he'd probably fancied himself as a
Right.
favourite at this point.
Yeah, I think he was the favourite when he clicked register in his eyes.
Really? Oh, yeah, in his eyes. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah, he clicked register. He's like, well, I'm a lock to win.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate he'd already spent the $3,500 at that point. Now needs to go on and win it.
fold.
Yeah, well, we've seen Astro Girl make the right pass in these spots. Goof shows to get some respect. But then people only really show when they have it, don't they? Now, so does it really make any difference?
Not really, no.
I don't think so. Well, Goof, Bane and Astro, they have what? 7-15, about 25 wins on PKR between them. Astro actually the most, 13 wins, 62 final tables. But just the one four-figure score, a Gold Rush victory worth $1,500. A totally, well, it's six-seater, but a different beast to this tournament. Certainly seeing a lot more flops here.
Should be a shove from Goof.
I'm all in.
Yeah, looks like another good spot to sweep up some decent chips. Can't see Astro
I
getting
fold.
away from her MO and making this call. However many, I mean, it would be extraordinarily loose, would it not? Even with 860,000.
Yeah, it's definitely on the loose side.
I fold.
They're
Yeah.
never shoving worse.
I guess you just perhaps take a little time just to show that you're not going to be run over.
I mean, you do, but I would have been more happy with a snap fold. I mean, it's not like the players are going to
Yeah.
think, oh, they're always going to have ace-king or
Right.
aces when they raise.
Yeah.
They're going to be weak sometimes.
Yeah, and Goof actually, I think it's probably fair to say that Goof and Astro both have not done anything too wild in terms of shoving
No.
over the top with air. In fact, we've seen slightly more passive plays from
Yeah.
them.
Missing out on value maybe in some
Yeah.
cases.
New
Yep.
hand.
Just looking at Bane's record on PKR.
What's his biggest win?
Well, you know, he's only entered 128 tournaments. I mean, these two that he's up against, 867 and 758 tournaments. So, you know, Bane doesn't play an awful lot online. Certainly not tournaments. And his best is a Sunday Classic win in 2008 for 6.5K. So that is pretty old school. And he's also won the Sunday High Roller on, would you believe, Christmas Day last year. Bane, what are you doing on Christmas Day? Honestly, I think that about anyone, but especially you. 4.5K. But you picked up 4.5K on Christmas Day. What a night that must have been, eh?
Okay, new
Crystal
hand.
for everyone. Not much, actually. You wouldn't get much, would you?
Couple of bowls.
Yeah, that's right.
Depends
And,
where you are, actually.
yeah,
Maybe
and-
half a
Okay,
glass.
I raise.
And then earlier that month, actually, December last year, fourth in the PKR 500
Fold.
of 84 for 4K. And a few other, a smattering of, well, he's won this twice before.
I fold.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. So a win here would be his fourth biggest result on PKR. But of course, he's primarily a cash game destroyer.
Has he confirmed his Vegas dates?
He has indeed. If you go to the website and go to the promotion section,
You don't know them
can see-
offhand?
I do. Well, I know that he's playing
Fold.
3 tournaments that are also being played by you and Wellbet. So it's around that sort of a
Okay.
time. Yeah, I can't quite remember what they are, but you can go check them online. You can see the pros tournaments schedule for the World Series. Well, here we go. It was inevitable in the end, and unfortunately, the short stack's got the worst of it. A 7 will do, and an ace
Here
would
comes the
do.
river.
9 is irrelevant. And the
Wow.
rich get
That's
richer.
a bit of a chip lead Bane's got to overcome.
Well, if you're going to be heads up against Bane, this is about the best possible situation.
101 big blinds, plays 15.
Yeah, well, he's certainly not going to wait around here. You'd expect this to be going in.
in.
Boom, and it does.
All in.
And the computer hand is just about slap bang average. And in this case, it's a huge favourite.
Yeah, here's a snap call with Bane. I
You
think.
could.
Oh,
well,
wow.
Well, there we go. I mean, how many of those do you want to let go by? I think you could easily afford to call that.
that one's a call, definitely. I mean, if Bane had doubled that stat, then
Right.
maybe not, but
New hand.
that was definitely a call for me.
Well, there we go. Goof, by the way, $1,260 for the Brit. That is a 31st final table. It's Bane against Astro Girl. $2,000 for the loser of this heads-up match and 3.5 for the winner. But it is a mountain to climb even
I'm
for
all
the
in.
Russian.
Oh, wow.
All in.
Oi, oi, he's on his way. He's on his way. He's got to dodge an 8 or a 5. He's a huge favourite. Oh, and there it is. Bane takes an outdraw for the first time in his life. And congratulations to Astro Girl.
Well, Bane couldn't bring us home the win this time, but he showed us again why he's such a force.
Yeah, I mean, he was the best player at the table. He was chipping up, winning pots without being contested all the time, and it was just... He went into heads up with like a 10-1 chip deficit and got cooled for the lot. So,
but it shouldn't take it away from the Australian winner. Did everything that she needed to, really.
Yeah, they didn't play bad or anything at all. I just think Bane had that extra edge at the final table.
And that's the thing. We saw two ways of playing Bane there. In the very first hand, Goof actually fought back against him and played some super high variance, what looked incredible poker.
Yeah, I mean, in this line, I would have preferred maybe to go back to pre-flop and try and make an extra raise there, than rather than check raise all in on the flop, just because. I think his hand was good a lot of the time. I mean, he had ace high on like a jack rag board.
Yep.
And Bane's always going to be calling with better, I think. It was just sort of like bluffing with the best hand.
Okay. And the other way to play Bane quickly is passive, the way we saw the winner do it. That's another way, or is it dangerous too?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm playing Bane, I'm looking to trap him. So I like that line.
All right, well, if you meet the Mad Russian, take one of those two lines and you might come off good. From me and Scott, see you soon.